Today we will learn what is weathering and different types of weathering. What is weathering? Let us see the definition. The process of disintegration and decomposition of rocks is generally called as weathering. What is meant by disintegration, children? It is the breaking up of rocks into fragments, small pieces, while decomposition is the decay of rocks due to chemical action. Agents of weathering: water, wind, ice, plants, animals, people, and chemicals help in weathering, children. The broken rock materials formed as a result of weathering remain where they were formed. They are not transported, thus, weathering is a static process. Now let's learn the factors affecting weathering. We've already learned weathering is disintegration and decomposition of rocks, children. So weathering mainly depends upon the following factors: type of rocks, climatic conditions, type of vegetation cover, slope of land, exposure to sun, wind and rain. So rocks break into fragments or decay due to all these factors, children. There are three main types of weathering, children. First one is mechanical or physical weathering, second one is chemical weathering, and the third one is biological weathering. Children, now let's learn about mechanical weathering or physical weathering. Mechanical weathering involves disintegration of rocks without the change in their chemical composition. It is caused by the change in temperature due to expansion and contraction, rocks break up, and freezing action of water. Now let's see how changes in temperature helps in breaking up of rocks, children. The rocks are heated during the day and cooled during the night. Different minerals present in the rock expand and contract at different rates according to the changes in temperature. As a result of this unequal expansion and contraction of minerals in the rocks, a series of cracks develop on the outer surface of the rock. This causes the rock to break into smaller pieces or granular fragments. Observe the picture, children. See how the rock surface heats up and expands during the day, and rock surface cools and contracts during the night. This expansion and contraction helps the rocks to break, children. Block disintegration, granular disintegration, and exfoliation are caused due to changes in the temperature, children. And now let's learn about them in detail. Now let's learn about block disintegration, children, and observe the pictures very clearly where the rocks break along the parallel joints or cracks. So when big blocks of rock disintegrate from the main rock along parallel joints or cracks, it is called block disintegration, children. When very small particles disintegrate from a rock, it is called granular disintegration, children. Observe the pictures. You can very clearly see small rocks are breaking from the main rock. Children, observe the pictures. You can see how a rock is being peeling up like an onion. So this is called exfoliation or onion peeling. In definition, I can say that when the outer layer of rocks become loose and peel off or disintegrate from the main rock, it is called exfoliation or onion peeling. Now let's see how the freezing action of water helps in breaking up of rocks. In mountainous regions and in areas with cold climate, the breaking up of rocks is caused by the freezing action of water, children. The cracks and joints in the rocks fill up with water. At night, when the temperature falls, the water in the cracks or joint freezes. The conversion of water into ice increases its volume, thereby requiring more space. This causes widening of cracks and joints and finally leads to their disintegration. This is called frost action. The picture gives you a very clear idea how the freezing action of water helps in breaking up of rocks. Observe the picture very clearly, children. The second type of weathering is chemical weathering. Chemical weathering involves decay of rocks which causes changes in their chemical composition. It occurs due to the chemical action of air and water or the minerals present in rocks. Chemical weathering also causes changes in the appearance of rocks. This process is influenced by high temperatures and abundant moisture. Chemical weathering involves solution, oxidation, hydration, and carbonation. Types of chemical weathering. Let us see the first type, children, solution. Some rocks and minerals such as limestone, rock salt and gypsum dissolve in water. They disintegrate in the form of solution. Yeah, when you mix these limestone, rock salt and gypsum, they mix in water and change into solution, children. The second type is oxidation, children. The decomposition of rocks through oxidation takes place when minerals present in the rocks react with atmospheric oxygen present in rainwater. It is like rusting of iron, children. In the presence of air and water, how iron gets rusted. Then color also changes. In the same way, the color of the rocks changes in this process. Now let's see the third type, children, that is carbonation. When rainwater passes through the atmosphere, some carbon dioxide present in the air dissolves in the rainwater, children, and forms a weak carbonic acid. This carbonic acid reacts chemically on limestone and disintegrates them, children. This is called carbonation. The fourth type is hydration. The chemical union of water with minerals is called hydration. When water is added to feldspar, the volume of rock increases, children. It causes stress on the minerals present in the rock and thereby leads to their disintegration. This method is called hydration. Observe these rocks, children, which have gone through some chemical reactions like hydration, carbonation and oxidation. The third type of weathering is biological weathering. Some plants, animals and human activities disintegrate rocks. Such type of weathering is called biological weathering. Plants and animals' activities disintegrate the rocks through biological weathering, children. Let's see how plants help in biological weathering. The penetration of roots in the rock cracks widens the cracks and disintegrate the rocks. The uprooting of trees by winds also breaks the rocks. Animals such as rabbits and moles dig burrows in the ground. In this process, they loosen the ground and disintegrate the rocks. So animals are also helping in biological weathering. Human activities are also a part of biological weathering. Human activities such as mining, deforestation, blasting of hills and bridges by dynamite to build roads and dams, quarrying for industrial and building materials results in disintegration of rocks. Some of the effects of weathering, children, it produces a layer of loose material which can cause landslides and mud flows. It leads to soil formation also, children. And before we end this session of weathering, please watch this video.
The Earth's crust is made up of rocks. Rocks appear to be indestructible. However, wind, temperature fluctuations, and even the actions of plants and animals make them crumble gradually. The process of the disintegration of rocks by the action of external factors is referred to as weathering. The product of rock weathering is rock materials of different particle sizes: stones, gravel, sand, loam, and clay. Various physical, chemical, and biological factors contribute to the process.